start earning some disposable income. And what is provided for in the Bible, Proverbs 6, verse 6 to 9. I'm very careful to quote the right verses. I don't want people to fact check and find that I lied. So I cross-checked in the morning. The Bible tells us that these small creatures called ants, and they don't have a king, they don't have an education. During summer, they are busy accumulating something, because obviously they know winter will be on the way. So for human beings with all the intelligence that we should have, when you are healthy, you should be like the ant. That's the time you should accumulate something for the rainy day, because your retirement is the rainy day. So the right time to start planning for retirement is now, the moment you start earning an income.
Okay.
Yes.
Ngodo,
yes.
I want to hear your views on that. Approximately, at what age? Because some of us, the age bracket that we are still identified as youth, really don't talk about these things and really don't care about it until when probably it's very, very too late. I'd say probably at the age of 50, that is when people now start thinking, kuna kashamba mahali, you should go and buy, so that ikifika 60, then I have a place I can call home. But really, what really is the age that, especially for the young people, that they should really start thinking about retirement, whether they're employed or even not?
All right. So thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure at being at the home of Untold Stories. My name is Ngodo Alexander.
Thank you very much.
From Fortune Circle, the fastest growing circle in the region. And what I can say, I'll concur with Wainaina. The moment to start preparing for retirement is as soon as you start getting an income of whatever kind. Because as we had discussions here severally, I wish this education can start as early as university, so that once you are ready with school, immediately you get a job, immediately you start earning your income, you start preparing. Again, it is also informed with what do you want the future to be like? How do you want your last days to be like? So that one again will motivate you in how you want and how you can prepare for the retirement. So I think there is no particular age. It should start as soon as you get that first coin as an income, whether in business or whether you are in employment. Yes.
And you're from a SACCO. What is the uptake of Kenyans really about accounts, whether it's in the banking sector or even in SACCOs? What's the uptake like? What's the penetration of banking services for Kenyans?
Thank you for that question. I'm happy that the perception is changing. Earlier times, SACCOs were regarded for the old people, the conservative, but we have come out so strongly. And some of the things that we have done is the way we package our product. It has to be appealing to these young people. We have also come with products which are also meeting the needs of this group of the young people. So we have different types of account that fit for this. So the uptake is going high from the SACCO. And then again, even the regulatory bodies, the SASTRA has come out also very strong in assuring everyone or the population that your money is safe. So we can see the trend is changing. A lot of young people are embracing the SACCO movement. Yes.
Well, when I want to come back to you, so a lot of people think when it comes to retirement, and you've told us the different the age groups that are expected to have gone for retire when it comes to different organizations.
Yes.
But then again, a lot of people think when it's about retirement, when we talk about retirement, that's the only time we hear about the urban to rural migration. But the other times it's usually the other way around. So what are the things that one can still do in urban areas after they retire? Is it the end for them living in Nairobi now have to go back to mashambani, or there are other things that can earn them money still while in Nairobi? And what are the structures like? Are they supported by the government at that age?
Ideally, there's nothing like retirement of a human being. Human beings don't retire, they die. Because these mandatory retirement ages that we are talking about, they are in human resources manual company policies. In Kenya, for example, when you are talking of the public, the civil service code, the statutory retirement age, they are stated in our statutes. But when you are 60, and we have seen that the life expectancy of Kenyans has really improved. From the last census, women live longer. The life expectancy for Kenyan women is about 68, and for men is about 67. We are finding that because of improved health care, the standard of living, better roads, better environment, people are living longer. So when, for example, if you are a public service, you retire at 60, that's what it means. Is that you move from an 8 to 5 o'clock job to something different. Because if you are lucky to live to be 90 or even 100, there are people who are even hitting 100, or even what the Bible has promised, 70 years. It means you have 10 years after retirement before you receive a home call. Or you pass to the next world. So what will you be doing over that time? So retirement doesn't mean just switching off, becoming idle. You just move from that formal job to something else. For example, let me give my own example. Myself, I took early retirement from government. Okay. I ought to have retired last year, but I took my retirement in 2014. But I find that my routines haven't changed. I still wake up at 5. I'm busy doing pursuing my passions and what have you. So retirement doesn't mean that you just sit idle there watching movies, going to the club. You can't spend a whole day in the club, etc. So you pursue different passions upon retirement. You have to continue to be useful in your life. The other day we were hosting Dr. James Mwangi of Equity to celebrate his being featured in Forbes magazine. And we were in a class where we were celebrating hitting the 60th floor. And he was saying, what are you talking about retirement at 60? If you have some 30 or 40 years to live, what will you be doing? This is the time now to think about relationships, the time to think about social impact. So we can say retirement is, you are just switching from one occupation to a different occupation. The effective retirement is when you die. Actually, what I'm finding, and this is the reality in retirement, is that the biggest challenge retirees face, what do you do with that time? You are used to opening your business at 8 up to, could be 8 in the morning up to 9 at night. If those people who are in formal employment, you report it to work at 8 up to 5. Now, upon retirement, you have nothing to do. What do you do with? Actually, idleness, being idle is the biggest challenge. Actually, it's not lack of money that really kills people in retirement. What kills people early in retirement or the depression or stress is idleness. So you have to plan your retirement. What will I be doing when I quit the 8 to 5 o'clock job? Yeah, and there are many things that you can do. There are so many things that you can do in the world. You can engage in social work, volunteerism, etc., etc. So there is no time for being idle. Yeah.
So I'm also getting that what you're saying is some of the satisfaction that comes with retirement has nothing to do or has little to do with financial success, right?
Precisely. Yeah.
Well, interesting. And I want us to switch gears and talk about financial literacy. And I want to engage you, Ngotho.
Yes.
What are some of the things that one needs to have as a skill set to ensure that they are financially literate?
All right. So financial literacy is key because it informs you of the foundation of planning yourself, and it involves investments, it involves savings, it involves even what you are talking of pension. So and the literacy itself, because there is no school, you'll never be taught about financial literacy, but all this information is available either in the media, we have publications, we have organizations doing literacy. So once you plan yourself, once you equip yourself with the necessary knowledge, you can be able now to know what is the future like. Like us as a circle, we always say, as much as you are the foundation of preparing to retirement, first you have to organize yourself in terms of debts, because again, high debts, then it will be distressful in terms of planning, because maybe you're at 60, you have some loans which are still running. So we will help you in terms of ensuring that by the time you clock at that last day of work, then you are free. You are able to, you have solidified some good amount which you can live off. Yes.
Well, and I want to take it back to you, Wainaina. Yes. I understand that planning for retirement is also hard because it involves a lot of things like, there are diseases that come with age. There's the question of how long you're going to live, probably, how the inflation might be by the time you're withdrawing your pension.
Yeah.
There's a lot that obscures the real when it comes to planning for retirement. There's a lot that really obscures one's mind. What should one do to ensure that they declutter and really set their eyes on the goal without really messing up their future?
You know, one of the things that derail people from, for example, is this concept of the future. You know, when you start working at 26, after graduation, and you are working in a company where the retirement policy is 60, 34 years away, that's a long time. But time really runs fast. And when you don't start early, that's why you find, I think you've heard of Wazes, upon hitting 58, 59, when you get a notification, you know, government pay slips are very interesting. They keep on reminding you how many more years to go. And 1 year to retirement, you are given a notice. And that's when some people start panicking. Mtu ako na mtoto ako primary school, mwingine alioa amechelewa. So when you look at the financial burden ahead of you, you start pleading with the employer. I think you've even had people forging. They are trying to reconstruct their life. Their birth certificate, their ID, and what have you. You've even had some people have even been taken to court for forging those documents because panic sets in. Oh, time has really run very fast and what have you. So that idea of thinking the future is very far. So you have time, you graduate at 26, you start working, could be at 28. The first 5 years is just having it nice. You marry at 35. Kabla watoto wawe na mambo mingi, you are at 40 something. And so time catches up with you. So that's why it is important to start planning for your retirement immediately you get employed.
Yes.
Because the future is an illusion. We have said retirement can be forced on you because of medical reasons. So you are retired on medical grounds. You could have an accident, a permanent disability. So you are retired on that account, and you find that what you'll have saved through the company pension plan is not sufficient to see you through. And then there is this notion, Adam, I can tell our viewers that notion is a lie. That you start saving 10% of your income for retirement. That's the bare minimum. Actually, the right way of doing it is that your percentage of saving should be inversely related to your age. So the younger you are, the more you should be saving, because you don't have a lot of responsibilities. You are single, you've not yet married, meaning that you don't have a lot of financial commitment. So that's the time when you are able to spare a very large percentage of your income for the products that they offer that are pension related. When as your age increases, you go reducing the amount. And I will give a very good example, and viewers, you can test this during your free time. There is something called Rule 72.
Okay.
Rule 72 of investing and pension planning states that if you set aside, for example, 10,000 today at 1%, it will take 72 years for that amount to be doubled. That same amount, if you invest it at 2%, it will take that 2 years. So it is 72. You divide by the interest rate of your earning. So the advantage of the youth, the competitive advantage that the youth have over old people, is the advantage of time. So because you have a many years ahead of you, if God grants you good health to live up to 70, meaning that you can benefit from what we call the compounding interest.
Okay. Because
if you start saving at 26, immediately you are employed, then that amount of money can really grow to a very big amount by the time you are hitting 60. But when you start saving at 50, then for you to accumulate a given amount of money upon retirement, what we call a lump sum, it will require you to save a lot of money. So what we are telling the young people, and the president once said, being young is not a career. One day you'll be a guka, you'll be a shosho. So take the advantage of time, start saving early. And there are so many products, and you don't have to be in formal employment. There is pension bow, where you can be saving 20 shillings every day through retirement pension scheme. NSSF has even a product where you can save 5 shillings. Can you imagine the value of a banana? So, and the majority of Kenyans have mobile phones and they buy airtime. And we do betting, and you know, betting, you praise, it could be 20 shillings and what have you. So my view is that nobody is too poor to save for retirement, because you can start saving 5 shillings, you can save pension bow, and over time that amount accumulates into a lump sum. Na kama ni mzee ukiletewa mahali ukiuza msichana yako, hiyo pesa weka kwa account, wewe unakula tu pole pole, because as we grow old, the maintenance of our bodies increases. Yeah, just like a car. The maintenance of a car, the maintenance cost increases with the age. That's why I'm a believer that when you are young, when you are healthy, save the largest proportion of your income, because with the age, with all these diabetes, dialysis, the cholesterol stuff and all those things, you require a lot of money to maintain your bodies. So, and we cannot wait for the government to plan for our lives. Ati inua jamii na nini na nini. By the time unainuliwa jamii, utakuwa umezumbuka sana na magonjwa. Yes.
Well, thank you. Ngodo, we've talked about saving and spending at someone's sunset years, but a lot of people fail when it comes to financial discipline. What are some of the things that one should develop over time to ensure that they are really financially disciplined?
That has been a challenge, especially on us youth. And as fortune, what we have done is we have input more resources in terms of education. We usually have education days every year to at least enlighten the young people on why savings is important. And one way of instilling discipline is, as I have already said, it's a goal. If you have a goal, then that one will be the reason why you wake up every day so that you can reach to where you want to be. The other thing is, again, you have to ensure that in terms of the spending, that is at least not high, not minimal, it is average based on your income. Because again, we find that we as young people, we are spending more than even whatever you're earning, thereby going negative. So you're into debts, we are into so many loans, especially on the apps and etc. So we have to be very mindful of how we spend. And then again, we have to keep learning. You know, financial literacy is an everyday learning. So you have to keep engaging yourself on what other features that we have for investment. And I will also echo Mr. Wainaina on the compounding effect. We as young people, the only thing that we have is time, because like when you come to Fortune Sacco, you open an account. We have an account called Jinwe account. For example, you start with 10,000. Our account earns 10% per year. So at the end of the year, you'll have 11,000, right? So that now means the amount will start as 11,000, right? Then again, it will earn another interest. So you find that your principal plus interest earns an interest. So that is the compound effect that we are talking about. And when you start early, you can imagine the amount you could have accumulated over time. Again, we always say we should live off our assets, not on our assets. So you find that maybe when we come now to that age of retirement, you are selling plot, you are selling this, you are selling this, no. But if we plan ourselves well, our assets, whatever you have accumulated, we should live off those assets. At least you have something to leave to the generation. But again, now you find that because of lack of this planning, this is when now you start disposing of all these sort of assets. And maybe as you now almost you have nothing left. So again, I think we really need to have this education, learning. We need to enlighten our youths and also show them why it's also necessary. And then again, we have the Generation Z. You know, the packaging matters in how we also communicate these products. So again, as a SACCO, it's different institutions, different platforms that are offering the savings or investment plans. How do we package this, all these products, so that they feel that they are in, you know, they are part of whatever you are planning. So I think that is critical for us.
And do you have a product, like a retirement product for retirees, an investment plan for retirees?
Yeah, we have one. What usually happens, you can open an account where, whether it is income or biashara, you can come to us and say, maybe at the end of the month, at the end of the week, even on a daily basis, as he has mentioned, of the NSSF BAU BAU plan. Even as we can have that, you just come to us, we have a standing order where maybe a certain amount is going towards that account. And the beauty is, in Fortune Sacco, that amount earns interest. Because as a Sacco, what usually happens, all the money saved, we lend to our members. So again, it's also secure. Because in terms of the way we lend, there is the aspect of guaranteeship, there is the aspect of looking at the capability of a member. So your money is invested in a very sure way. You don't have to feel that maybe in 2 years, 3 years down the line, that your money might maybe vanish. Because we also have a lot of outfits that are offering investments, but again 2-3 years down the line they close shops. So as Fortune Sacco with over 47 years, you are sure that no day that you'll come and find that our offices are closed. So it's a learning we have to learn every day. Yes.
Well, thank you very much for that. And I want us to take a very, very short break. But when we come back, I also want us to talk about financial independence, especially for people who are planning to retire. This is Morning Cafe. We're talking about planning for retirement. And in studio, I have with me Ngodho Alexander, who's the branch manager of Fortune Sacco in Nairobi, and CPA Samuel Wainaina, who's the director of Dream Credit Limited. We're talking about everything retirement, including financial discipline, financial independence. That is what we're going to be tackling right after this short break. Remember, you can be part of this conversation by SMSing us live on 22047. We are on Twitter at T47KE. My handle, personal handle, is at Eric_Mnene. You can be part of this conversation. Let's keep talking. This is Morning Cafe. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Despite being visually impaired, he is a jack of all trades. It is our quest to find answers on how to take care of children with special needs and those with disability. You do not need to see musical notes to understand music, but rather to have your soul feel the vibe.
Actually, for us to make a wheelchair, we have to take measurements of the user.
After doing my assessment, I get to know the parent, I get to know the heaviness she's carrying.
Disability comes at different stages of life.
Well, do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la Siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga,
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. The next set of millionaires are farmers. As we know, agriculture has been and still is the backbone of our economy. As we traverse the different counties to meet different farmers, we ensure to get the story of how they started farming and even how they continue to penetrate the market and overcome the challenges.
Hapa, the reason why nilieka goose na si ducks. Goose, they are very easy to maintain.
A lot of farmers keep on calling, inquiring whether you're supposed to raise some seeds in the nursery or you're supposed to do them directly in the field.
The greenhouse helps us control the temperature because the temperature needs to be between 28 to 32 degrees.
Walk this journey with us every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. It's no secret construction ain't cheap. But how do we make it affordable? Different individuals are finding ways of cutting down cost by use of pre-stressed slabs other than reinforced concrete, recycling plastics to make pavers.
The brick is stronger, it's cheaper, and it's lighter.
And recycling wastewater in your household.
What happens to my waste from the washroom, the solid waste? All that can break down.
Those are just but a few. Every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. we talk construction.
There's no alpha without an omega. There's no lead without any followers. No man is an island. We need friends.
We say it, we do it, we act it.
Kama una mpenzi wako, kila siku kama nilivyosema, kila siku mwishi mapenzi.
We don't toe the line, we set the standard. We don't eat the grass, we lead the pack.
Welcome back to Morning Cafe and thanks for staying with us. We're talking about planning for retirement. I have with me CPA Samuel Wainaina, who's the director of Dream Credit Limited, and Godho Alexander, who's the branch manager, Fortune Sacco here in Nairobi. And just before we went on that short break, Wainaina, and I want to throw this to you, we were talking about financial independence at that retirement age. What are some of the things that one should do to ensure that they're now financially independent na wasisumbue watoto, like we were saying off camera?
Financial independence briefly refers to that confidence, that peace of mind that you get, that you don't struggle to pay your obligations, to pay your bills. My colleague alluded to it when said when you are young, you work for money. And if you invest wisely through proper asset selection, I'll be explaining what it is, then upon retirement, you stop working for money, your assets start working for you. So that independence is where your assets are able to generate sufficient cash. About I think and we saw it during the corona pandemic. There were people who are really struggling. I know a case even at home. I'm from Nyandarua County, a family that has been struggling to sell 10 acres to take a family member to India for Medicare. And they've not even been able to sell it to date because land is extremely illiquid. It's not like quoted shares or the fixed deposit you keep in their company and you go for it and they will give it on the spot. So for you to get financial independence, then over time you'll have selected your assets so carefully such that you'll generate enough cash flow to meet your needs. And it is very easy. For example, if upon retirement you are still staying in a rented house and you are paying 40K, could be your monthly fuel bill is about 10K, your entertainment, if all your expenses put together comes to about 150,000. But from your rental income, from your fixed deposit, from your dividend, and from your business, from your dairy cows, from selling eggs, etc., you are generating about 200,000 net. Then it means that your cash inflow is higher than your outgoings. Meaning that you are financially independent. You don't have to bother your children. Ati kila wakati unawapigia simu unaambia mnajua dawa ya hospitali dawa hospitali mnajua naenda dialysis nini alafu watoto unajua nao wakifika watoto nao wanakupangia if they are 5 This month ni Njoroge wewe ndio unatumia mzee hiyo pesa nini, what have you, and sometimes they are also struggling, they are hustlers, so anakuta hawana pesa, so you go to the grave before your time. So financial independence is extremely important for everybody, and it gives you peace of mind. And even in the family, watu wako na shida sana kwa mafamilia kwa sababu ya mambo, wengine watu hawakujipanga wakati walikuwa vijana, kwa hivyo wanasubua watoto na watoto wako na shughuli zao za maisha. Kwa hivyo financial independence, that freedom, the freedom to spend, to live a decent life without being a nuisance to your children, your community, your church, and your country. Yeah. So leading a responsible life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ngodo, you mentioned something about Generation Z, and I want us to talk about taking high risks at a very early age, maybe in your 20s or 30s. What are some of the things that young people should invest in to ensure that in future they'll not be struggling when they head for retirement?
Good. So as we plan for retirement, and you have said that age is the biggest all time. So as a young person, you have so much time. You can fail, you can wake up. So I think there is that time to try and error. So I, as a youth, I can engage into more riskier investment, because again there is that time factor. Mr. Wainaina cannot engage in some risky ventures because again, you know, the time that he has. So and some of these we have like the stock market, where you can go to the NSE. Right now there are a lot of stock brokerage firms that are offering that services, and you can buy as little as 100 shares. Whichever firm that you would wish to. Again, by having done a research on the same, and you can contribute either on a monthly basis, etc., etc. And then again, we have asset. I am sure somebody who is at 60 buying a land for selling at future, you know, it does not make sense. But personally, if I go and buy an acre, maybe by the age of 50, that will be maybe times 10 or times 20. And so I think stock exchange, land, and when it comes to land, as a youth, we have a lot of ways to acquire it. If you have resources, you can buy it in cash. If you are in employment or in business, you can come to us. We give you an asset finance loan, where we finance 70% of that asset. And what I always say is, when you buy an asset, either with a circle or a bank or whatever, because if an asset is like $1 million, and I'll give you like 4 years, because again, we always say, when you are buying that land, because it's not giving you an income, I should not say that you pay within a year. Right? You stress your income streams, and maybe you might not live a comfortable life, because again, as much as we want to invest, we have also to ensure that other ways of life goes as it should be. My kids should not be at home because I have bought a land in Nyandarua or Murang'a, right? Yeah. So as much as we are investing, you have to ensure that your other ways of life is also smooth. So once you come for an asset finance, I'll give you like 4 years. By the time you complete repaying that loan, that land will not be $1 million. It will be 1.5 or 2 million, depending on the location and all that factors. So asset finance is good. The other form of investment, we have the mutual funds. A lot of organizations as well. Where you put your money, they are put in a pool, and they invest on different forms. So I think those are some of the few investment options. And then again, I always like to repeat, I don't know, the issue of we want to get rich so fast, and we have been crazy figures that we are losing as youths. You like 2 months ago, you hear a figure of 1.3 billion. You see, being lost in cryptocurrency, you know, other forms of which are even not regulated. So as much as, again, we also want to invest, do your research well, and you don't have to do it yourself. You also have people who can assist. You have financial consultants. Okay. You also have even us. You can come to us and we tell you the different forms of investment, because it's so unfortunate where you have accrued some money, then all of a sudden you lose that money at a go. Then the other form of investment, you have term deposit, where you put money and that money earns interest, either 3 months, 6 months, a year, that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Samuel, we have different options for retirement. We have employer-sponsored plans. There are government-sponsored plans like NSSF. What plan? And I want us to, tackle that very quickly, because I see we're running out of time. But what are some of the individual pension plans that people can engage in, and how do you choose the right one to ensure that you are well cushioned in your sunset years?
Okay, thank you. Before I respond to that, I just want to add on what my colleague has said.
Go ahead.
The issue of risk, your appetite for risk taking also varies in inverse proportion with the age. Okay. When you are young, you don't have a lot of responsibilities. It means that you can take a higher risk. As you grow older, your appetite for risk changes. For example, myself, I bought a matatu when I was 28 years. I've made a mistake with matatus twice. Nowadays, at my age, if you give me a brand new matatu, I'll tell you thank you. Give me cash. Because that business is so stressful that if you buy a matatu on retirement, I tell you, you can't live 5 years. It will stress you to the grave. So and that's the advantage of being young. You have time to make mistakes and learn your lessons. As you grow old, apply those lessons to become a better person in terms of investment, in terms of running your business. Going back to your question, when one is in employment, you find that employers have various pension schemes. There is the Provident Fund. The Provident Fund, where it's a check-off. You contribute a certain percentage of your salary, and so does the employer. Upon retirement or upon hitting 50 years, then you get a lump sum.
Okay.
Yeah. Then there is the superannuation fund, which the government introduced the other day for public servants. So the employer and the employee contribute different percentages. On retirement, you get a lump sum and an annuity. You can get some money until the day you die. For those people who are not in formal employment, insurance. There are many insurance companies that are selling different pension plans. Okay.
Because I understand we're running out of time. In a minute or less. Just
okay. My message is, if you are planning for a pension, seek professional advice. And there are no shortcuts, and just obey the process.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. It's quite a good discussion. It's just that we've run out of time. I'm being informed that we've run out of time. But thank you so much, CPA Samuel Wainaina, for such insights, and Ngodho